Welcome back, everyone. Here, I bring you stories that make you think, that happened. Wow. But today's story is different. Today, I want to scare the hell out of you. So turn off the lights, close the door, lock it, and listen carefully to the tale that follows. Because at the end, I'll ask you a question, and you'll be glad you didn't answer out loud. So, let's get right into it. You're strapped to a chair, your hands behind your back, your feet tied together. You can't move. A hooded figure approaches, places a cage on your chest and another on your stomach. The cage is small, just big enough for a few rats to move around. The figure heats up the cage using fire and hot coals. The rats inside panic, desperately searching for a way out. And the only way out is through you. They begin to dig their sharp teeth into your flesh, gnawing on your organs. The pain is excruciating, but there's no way to escape. The rats, driven mad by the heat, keep digging until they've made a hole big enough for themselves and the fire is coming for you now. What do? If you thought that was nightmare fuel, stick around for more, because this horror show actually happened to real people. And believe me, it was just as gruesome as you imagined. It was called the rat torture, and it was one of the most terrifying ways humans have ever punished each other. Now imagine being trapped, not by chains or ropes, but by starving rats. These little rodents, usually associated with dirty sewers and midnight cheese nibbling, were once used as tools of torture. Now imagine these creatures digging into your flesh, not out of aggression, but out of sheer desperation to save themselves from a fiery death. This wasn't a scene from a horror movie. It was a horrifying reality for many during medieval times. In Europe, during the 16th and 17th centuries, this cruel practice was widely used as a means of extracting confessions or information from suspected criminals and political prisoners. One of the most documented instances of this gruesome practice was reported in the Netherlands in the year 1630. The city was Amsterdam, and the culprit was a group of corrupt jailers who were notorious for using any means necessary to extract confessions from their prisoners. In South America, the rat torture was also reported as a means to terrify inmates. Corrupt jailers would use the threat of rats to intimidate prisoners, even though they might not have used it frequently. The sight of the cage with the rats and fire heated up to unbearable temperatures was enough to send shivers down the spine of the bravest soul. Rats were the perfect choice for this macabre method as they're smart, desperate, and relentless. When cornered, rats will try anything to escape, and they don't stop till they do. They're also quick learners, which means they can be trained to do certain tasks like pulling levers or pushing buttons, making them even more useful for the torturers. Here's how it went down. The victim would be tied up, usually with their arms and legs spread wide, almost like they were crucified. Then, the cage with the rats would be placed on their stomach or chest, or sometimes even on their head. The idea was to trap the rats with the victim, forcing them to take desperate measures to escape the impending doom. And what better way to escape than by burrowing through human flesh? But that's not all. The whole ordeal was made even more horrific by heating the cage from the outside with fire or hot coals. This drove the rats insane with fear, pushing them to dig through the victim at an even faster pace. The victim, of course, was in unbearable pain, but there was no escape. The rats, fueled by the promise of freedom, kept digging until they made a hole big enough for themselves. And then the fire would come next, ensuring that the victim's suffering would come to a gruesome end. It ain't uncommon for the victims to break down and confess everything the torturers wanted to hear even before the rats started gnawing on them. Just the sight of the cage with the rats and the looming threat of the fire was enough to make anyone crack. But those who survived the rat torture often suffered from severe psychological trauma. The experience was so terrifying that it left many broken, haunted by the memory of the rats and the fire forever. Sometimes the physical scars were less severe than the mental ones. It's hard to believe that such horrors existed, but they did. And the rat torture serves as a reminder of the darkest corners of human history where cruelty was turned into an art form. Now, I want to ask you, would you survive this? Let me know in the comments if you found this video informative, and would you survive the rat torture? If you enjoyed the video, please hit the like button and subscribe to my channel for more fascinating historical tales. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.